thank you. So an unprecedented moment in American history. Former President Trump has been indicted on criminal charges.
Where it goes from here, though, is still uncertain. Joining us now to talk more is our Elex Michaelson. Good morning to you. A very rare morning sighting.
Yes.
Yeah, first time I've been on with you two, by the way. Great job so far.
Oh,
so excited to have you guys
much.
part of the team. But serious topic to talk about this morning.
It sure is. So what do these charges mean, and what are they exactly?
Okay, well, we don't know exactly what the charges are. On Tuesday, we should learn what the charges are. Here's what we do know. In 2016, Donald Trump's running for president. Porn star Stormy Daniels wants to say publicly that she's having an affair with him. Michael Cohen, who is then Donald Trump's attorney, pays her $130,000 to not say that publicly. The way that he paid her led Michael Cohen to go behind bars because of what happened with him. Now, the question is, Donald Trump, we know that he paid Michael Cohen back. The way that he paid him back is what we're looking at here. Was that illegal? The FEC, which looked at this years ago, said it wasn't illegal. So is there more to this? In all these months of grand jury back and forth that we don't know about, is there new evidence that could lead to charges that we don't know about? That we should find out on Tuesday when he's likely to be arraigned and that indictment will be unsealed.
So then where do we see moving forward? Where do we go next?
Well, part of it is, are we going to see a perp walk? Are we going to see him in handcuffs? Are we going to see him fingerprinted?
Yeah.
A typical person in this situation would be fingerprinted and mugshot and handcuffed. Donald Trump is literally advertising and fundraising this morning on the possibility of that happening. It seems like he wants that picture to happen. The Secret Service may not want that picture to happen. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. And then, of course, he's in the middle of running for president. So how does this impact him? What was remarkable was every Republican potential rival of his last night came out in defense of him. So in terms of a Republican primary, this so far is good for him. It's rallying his base to him. The question is, if you got to win the general election, and you got to expand your base beyond the Republican diehards, does this hurt him? And of course, there could be more indictments to come, because we know in 2016, Trump barely won. In 2020, he lost. In 2018 and 2022, many of the candidates he backed lost. So in order to win the presidency, Trump's got to grow that base. And does this bring more people into his tent?
And that's the question, right? Because if I'm President Trump right now, I'm looking at this. He already made a sizzle reel about his possible, bringing charges. And if I'm him, I'm thinking these charges are going to be incredibly difficult to prove. And if he does win, then he's only going to use that to his advantage in this upcoming 2024 election.
Well, he's said very effectively over the years that they're not only against me, they are against you, the voter.
Right.
And I'm a representative of you. And so that he makes it seem like people are coming after them. And if he's able to keep that up, that's effective. And that has worked in the past for him. Of course, we could see other indictments for some of these more serious issues involving the 2020 election, involving Georgia. Those could come as well. And it is possible that if those indictments come, those trials could come before this one in New York as well. Just because something's indicted first doesn't mean that the trial will be first. But in the short term, Trump sees it as a big political win, and he does well when he can play the victim.
Are you hearing anything, Alex? I mean, I know we know and we're seeing what he's putting out publicly, right, by way of social media and otherwise. Are you hearing anything, though, about what's happening behind closed doors and what his reaction really, truly is?
Well, there has been some speculation on that he is seething. That's what Michael Cohen said last night, who, of course, knew him well, but has reasons to not like him anymore. But at least publicly, he's putting out this image of sort of being a champion in all this, and he's going to continue to fight. But privately, a lot of the people that know him best have said over the years that he is terrified at the concept of going behind bars, terrified at the idea of a criminal prosecution. And for his entire life, he's been able to evade that.
We know that Michael Cohen was prosecuted as a result of this. How credible a witness is he?
That's the question. And that could be the determinative of whether Trump is ultimately convicted in this or not. But there clearly are a lot of other people, too. I mean, they've brought a lot of people in Trump's orbit, in for questioning on this. We'll find out in terms of who else is involved in this. We might find that out on Tuesday as well.
If you're Ron DeSantis, what are you thinking right now?
Ooh.
You know, it's a mixed bag because this could rally Republicans to support Trump. Ron DeSantis put out a statement in favor of Trump with all of this as well. It's uncharted territory, and you know, I think Ron DeSantis doesn't really know what to do right now because nobody's ever been in this position.
Right. And do you still run for president? Do you still continue to run for president and operate a campaign?
You're talking about Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
is that is there any question?
He's made it clear that he thinks that this is good fuel for his campaign. And by the way, this is a weird thing to think of, but just because, even if he was convicted in this, a convicted felon can run for president. Can't vote for yourself, but you can run for president. So there is no indication that this is going to stop his campaign. If nothing else, it will strengthen his campaign.
Yeah, and his supporters as well, because they're not going anywhere. All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Elex.
Good to see you
We'll be
guys.
watching you tonight.
That's right. The issue is, tonight, right here on Fox 11.
And now let's